Good evening and welcome ITV1 and STV viewers to the Stadium of Light here in Sunderland. Now tonight England take on their oldest rivals, Scotland, in the inaugural Women's Nations League. We have a great night to look forward to in great company. I'm delighted to be joined by ex-England internationals Karen Carney and Ian Wright and Jen Beattie, who won just 143 caps for Scotland. Nice. The perfect lineup for tonight. Look, it's lovely to have your company. Now, for those of you that have been with us, we're going to recap what we spoke about at the top for our new viewers. First of all, let's start with England getting to the World Cup final. Amazing. What a journey they had.
Amazing. Leading in, I wasn't really confident. But I knew that we were good enough simply because of the tournament experience that we gained from the Euros. But, we got there. Massive disappointment in the end. I thought Spain were deserved winners in the end. But, it was an unbelievable journey. From the Euros and then to get to the World Cup final, these ladies have been amazing. And, like I say, it was a disappointment in the end, but I thought that the best team won.
And actually, talking of Spain winning the World Cup, so much has gone on off the field, not just with Spain, but with lots of other teams, but specifically Spain. We've got to focus on that for a moment, because following the removal of Rubiales as the president of the Spanish Federation, we saw the sacking of their manager, Jorge Vilda. We've then seen Spain campaign for change. They were due to actually boycott their Nations League game today against Sweden, but after a lengthy discussion with the Federation, they're playing against Sweden as we speak. And now we're at the point where it feels like they've got the change that they wanted, but it still feels, Karen, like we're at the start of all of this somehow.
I mean, it just feels like a weird movie when you say it out loud. How has this even happened? And in 33 days, you expect this systemic change that's been going on for years and years within Spanish football. I just feel for the players. They've won a World Cup, and we're not talking about what they've done, what they've achieved, and the style. They were brilliant how they played, and, beat England, that hurts to say that, but they won it with absolute conviction. But to see what the players have been going through and to still be going through it, for me, it's heartbreaking as a former player, really. And I think it'll take a lot more time for it to be really, really changed. And that's also a little bit of a concern, that you want to say something, you want to see it change, and I worry how long it will take.
Yeah, I mean, you can't change that much in 33 days, can you? I mean, they haven't had a chance to celebrate that win in the final, really. I can confirm, by the way, that they have beaten Sweden 3-2 in their Nations League match. So off to a winning start, which is great for them. But it's sort of a bittersweet scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it was such a late decision for them as well. I think they were in so many meetings over these past few weeks of trying to come together and make a decision as a team, which is what we would all try to do in that situation. But look, I think for me, if they're going to camp and wanting to play these games, for me that shows some level of progression, that they've chosen to do that as a team, and they've tried to get some level of change. They've got that for now. They want to move forward as a team. And look, I hope they get a chance to celebrate as a team this week. They've won one of the biggest things to win in world football, and try and celebrate it, enjoy those moments, whilst trying to deal with an incredibly important thing they need to.
And that's exactly what every player lives for, right? Absolutely. To win a World Cup. Well, look, we hope they do get to celebrate. Let's talk about tonight now, because we've got England up against Scotland in the inaugural Nations League match. And let's just show you how England line up tonight. Well, there are 3 changes from that World Cup final. There's an enforced change with Katie Zellem in for Kira Walsh, who's not in the squad. Lauren James steps in for Ella Toone, and Chloe Kelly is in for Alessia Russo after she needed an extended break after a very busy schedule indeed. Shall we take a quick look at how Scotland line up as well? Now, they've been in a really good run of form, having won their last 4, only conceding 1 along the way. I know everybody's going to be looking out for Caroline Weir, plays for Real Madrid, is the star of this team, and next to her in the middle of the park is Sam Kerr. There's a few Sam Kerrs in the game, but this particular one was named Player of the Season last year for Scotland. So what can we expect from this Scotland side tonight, do you think, Jen?
To be honest, tonight will be a brilliant test for them. They are off the back of a really good run, 4 wins on the bounce, which is great to come into the games like this. But they're playing against World Cup finalists, right? And this is the biggest test that they'll have had in a long time, in front of a sold-out stadium of light. So these are the games they want to be a part of. And this team is good enough to be at major tournaments. It's good enough to be at major finals. But so tonight is the games that they'll relish as players, and it's also great to see Pedro extending his contract and
to
really investing in this team. Absolutely, and this club are fully supportive of him and what he's trying to implement with them, and they're in a good place. But tonight is a massive test for them.
What's England's frame of mind coming into this match tonight, the first match after that World Cup final?
I actually think it's one of the hardest, you know, coming off the back of a major tournament. And look, I haven't experienced it in a World Cup final, so to gear yourself up to go again, and also to have two difficult games. You've got Scotland and then you've got the Netherlands on Tuesday. To get them going, very little competitive football's been played. I think Lucy Bronze, Stanway and Russo is not available. The only probably three who have played competitive matches. But look, they're in front of a fantastic home crowd. We want to, obviously, no offence, Jen, beat our rivals in Scotland. And look, it's an opportunity to show, look, why we are one of the best teams in the world.
I think as well it's an opportunity to kind of get that World Cup closed off, because I think it's not going to be closed off until they play the next game. You know, it's cool that we're playing Scotland, one of our rivals, but at the same time I think it's quite good for the ladies to be able to now play a game where they can move on to the next step of the journey. Obviously the World Cup was a very massive disappointment for everybody, but I believe that this team and the mental strength that they have, I think that they're ready to go again. You know what I mean? They're very professional. The manager's she's very focused in what she's doing. I think the team are the same.
And you can feel that the fans are really ready to receive them. It's the first time they're back on home soil, of course, after that final, Karen.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really excited to see them back, really. So to see them live, and especially up here, this crowd is amazing. Everyone loves them up north, and I just think it's really, really exciting and a great opportunity to see everyone live again.
Yeah, absolutely. We are very much looking forward to this one. It is the oldest international fixture, with plenty riding on this one. So it's now time to join our commentary team for England against Scotland. It's Eni Aluko, but first, Seb Hutchinson.
Yes, thank you, Seema. We're closer to Hampden Park than we are to Wembley, but the North East has been a breeding ground for the best of English football, with Sunderland its heartbeat in the women's game. A fitting setting for the homecoming of the team that came so close to that crowning glory. They return for a meeting of historical neighbours in the inaugural Nations League, with a target of more silverware, and for the best players of both nations, the possibility of playing at the Olympic Games. Rachel Corsie leading out the Scotland side, who are on a winning run, but missed out on the World Cup so narrowly in a playoff. What can they do against the World Cup finalists? An excellent atmosphere being generated in the Stadium of Lights. Sunderland's ready for the national anthems. England, it's Scotland. All the action after this short break. For the first Women's Nations League, and it's England against Scotland, the opening game for both these nations in their group. And the two sets of players coming together here in support of the Spain national team and their fight for change in their FA, with a hashtag on the wristband of Se Acabó, which translates as "It's over." Well, a look at the two sides, and England field 8 of the 11 that started the World Cup final. With Keira Walsh injured, there's a second England start for Katie Selam. Laura James is preferred to Ella Toone, and with Alessia Russo rested, Chloe Kelly comes into the front line. Referee from Italy, Maria Soli Caputi. And the Scotland team, with talent at Europe's top clubs in Real Madrid's Caroline Weir, Sam Kerr of Bayern Munich and Christy Grimshaw of AC Milan. 4 of this 11 also play in the WSL, while 3 more play in the Scottish Women's Premier League, which is already in full swing. Well, they're on a good run, Scotland, but there aren't many bigger tests than England right now. But before the action begins, well, yesterday there was the devastating news that Sheffield United's Maddie Cusack had passed away at the age of just 27, a player who had represented England at youth level. A moment impeccably observed by those in attendance tonight. Well, what a fixture to get this competition underway. Both sets of players take the knee, a reminder again of the fight for equality. Well, away we go. England v Scotland, part 1 in 2023, and the start of the Nations League. And a competition, well, this competition is a new concept, but this fixture certainly isn't. As England already on the attack, looking for the fastest of starts, and defending for Doherty to do already.
Yeah, England-Scotland, always a great game. Obviously, that rivalry, great start from England. I think that's it, Seb. There's many reasons why this game could be difficult today. 33 days since the World Cup final, only 6 to 7 days break for some of the players. So today, I think for England, it's about rhythm, finding that rhythm again, finding that momentum that they found so brilliantly in the World Cup. This Scotland team are in good form, unbeaten since February, so it's going to be a good test for England, but it's about finding that rhythm.
And as always, when Rachel Daly's playing, just waiting to see where she'll play on the pitch, and she's in the front line for England as Zelen picks it up and finds him. And Daly waiting in the middle. Stanway. Now him. Carter. to Lauren James. Such an eventful World Cup. Greenwood. She'll look for Kelly. Coughlin across. Two Rangers players in this Scotland starting lineup. Early England possession. Expect them to have a lot of the ball, of course.
You notice immediately, Seb, the threats to the back line. Rachel Daly playing in that 9 role in the absence of Alessia Russo.
Here's Carter. To Hemp. And Hemp has to restart turning away from defenders. Bronze hangs it in there. England have so many bodies in the penalty area already. Kelly. Zellum. One touch from her, looking to get it back again. Stanway. On to Carter. Carter with the switch, looking for Kelly. The pressure already of the visitors.
Very, very good start from England. Straight away in the opponent's box. Movement, threats to the back line for Scotland. Good start from England.
Kelly. Now Millie Bright, England captain. Carter. Bronze. Time to get that cross in. Hansen was slow to her in the end. Daly. England moving the ball with intent. Daly again. Have those numbers in there. James goes up. It's going to break to Kelly. Emsley back there having to defend. A wide player for Scotland. In goes the cross. And well defended by Doherty actually at the back post. Busy already, that Scotland defence.
Exactly. It seems as if England have almost spoken about it. That fast start. You know, straight away, they're dominating the ball, posing a threat to Scotland back 9, which results in a corner now.
Zellum on the corner duties from this side. Not Greenwood. It's actually back with Carter. But now Greenwood's looking for the short option, and Hansen has to be aware of that. Zellum hangs it to the back post, looking towards Bright. And the header from Thomas, the forward for Scotland. They're helping out in defence. And Bronze to James. Carter. Katie Zellum. And for the injured Kira Walsh. Bright. And now Hemp. Zellum. Scotland haven't really been able to get on the ball yet. Only 5 minutes in. James.
I don't think Scotland have touched it yet, sir. But what I've noticed straight away from England, you know, the positional switches that were so good in the World Cup. Lucy Bronze from that corner is playing in midfield. Lauren James coming back to recycle the ball from the corner. It's very fluid from England, which was a very big thing that we saw in the World Cup. Good to see that continue.
I was looking to get Bronze high up that pitch. That switching system that happened during the World Cup. I thought certainly to the game of Lucy Bronze, but batted with that error in the final. Hansen can be a dangerous runner with the ball. Players now with Aston Villa after a loan there last season from Manchester United.
Yeah, I think when Scotland do get hold of the ball, I think this front 3 for Scotland is dangerous. Hansen, Thomas, Emsley. Emsley in particular I know very well, signed her at Angel City. Very, very effective winger.
Another effective winger is Lauren Hemp. Into Stanway, sends it in. Oh, it's awkward. Scotland defence. Howard wasn't sure what to do there. But they get away with it in the end. But you mentioned Claire Emsley. Playing out in the States.
Yeah, as I said, very effective winger, scores goals, very consistent player. And is a big player for Scotland. You saw the last time they played against England, she scored the consolation goal. Big character for Scotland. Martha Thomas as well, very intelligent forward, great in the air. So Scotland will be looking to get those players involved in the game, but so far that hasn't been the case. England have really dominated the ball and are looking threatening.
Here's Stanway. On Doherty, Stanway did get the ball across. It's her club teammate, her new club teammate, Sam Kerr. Both at Bayern Munich now, Kerr and Stanway. He played one game for Germany so far, Stanway, this season. Keep an eye on Millie Bright and Lucy Bronze, often the target from England corners. Daly and Hemp very good in the air. There's the aerial threat for England. Zellum looks for it towards that back post, and they were queuing up, and it was Stanway of all people.
I love it from England, so brave from that corner. Only Jess Carter staying back. Really, really brave and courageous from England to throw lots of players forward to try and score a goal from a set piece.
Georgia Stanway, a firm fixture in that England midfield. Thomas looking for Grimshaw. Scotland have a talented midfield, but they can't get on the ball at the moment. We would talk about a potential Team GB at the Olympic Games. I expect a few of Scotland's midfielders to be in the mix for that, but not if they can't get on the ball in a game like this.
Absolutely, Caroline Weir being one of them. You know, she's had so much success at Real Madrid, been really influential, going to a big club. She would certainly be one in contention for Team GB, as well as a Claire Emsley, as I mentioned before.
Certainly you'd think Sam Kerr as well. Erin Cuthbert, who's not available for Scotland today. The Chelsea midfielder, one of those injured. And also the youngster Emma Watson, who've been told is unavailable for selection.
I was excited to see Emma Watson today, actually. I was speaking to Jen Beattie before the game. She said she's the closest thing to Kim Little, which I think is high praise for a 17-year-old player.
Well, a man there who has previously been in charge of Arsenal in the WSL, Pedro Martinez Losa, but signed a new contract today with Scotland after taking over in 2021, the Spaniard. Carter, loose clearance. Caroline Weir, first time she could get on the ball. Hansen, as I said, loves to run with the ball and she'll take on anybody, and Bronze is a formidable opponent in that regard.
Good strength there from Lucy Bronze. Hansen's going to have to be a bit more cute and intelligent to get past Lucy Bronze.
Greenwood forward. Committed to that, and here's James. And Bronze is in loads of space on the right-hand side, but James looks for the pass to Daly. Well, she'll try or go for the spectacular as far as passes are concerned. Laura James almost pulled that one off.
Would have been to Lucy on the right, who was all alone, really. But good break from England.
Absolutely, whenever James gets the ball, I feel like the crowd comes to life in expectation. Here's Bronze. Still try to get past Weir. Bright. Here's Carter. Fast start from England. Scotland will hope they can settle into the game. Bright's pass straight to McLaughlin. Kerr. And this is promising for Scotland. Grimshaw. Thomas is in the middle. Grimshaw looks for Thomas. Oh, it wasn't that far away. Pretty close. Tried to follow up there was McLaughlin, but that was more promising for the Scots.
Certainly more promising. You know, good wing play from Grimshaw. And the ball just falls. Just couldn't quite. Martha Thomas couldn't quite get connection on it. You just watch the way this England team set up with this sort of 3-5-2 system. It makes it so difficult for the Scotland back line because they're constantly overloaded. with players, with Lauren James running through, with Georgia Stanway running through, as well as Hemp and Daly being on the back line. So it's going to be difficult for the Scotland midfield to cope with those overloads on the back line.
Scotland losing to Ireland in a World Cup playoff. 1-0 defeat. Since then, they've been in very good form indeed. And England testing that form. Here's Kelly. Greenwood. And now James. Time to get the cross in, looking for Daly, and him. Have a go at that one. Stanway. Bright. Out to Kelly again. And Kelly again looking for Daly. And there's an awkward moment there for Sophie Howard. A couple of those so far in this game. Best City defender. 5 members, actually 6 members of the Scotland starting lineup that played at the World Cup. Since clearance. Straight to Bronze.
Mentioned rhythm at the beginning of the games. England have certainly found that. I think that was the big question mark for me. A lot of these players would have had disrupted pre-seasons. Obviously, Scotland are 6 games into their season. But England have definitely found that rhythm that we saw in the World Cup.
Greenwood, with a disguised pass to him. Always so difficult to pin down. That was James, but Weird did very well indeed. A very good time of things with Real Madrid since leaving Manchester City in the WSL. Here's Bright. Carter allowed a lot of time on the ball. Bronze. Stanway. Scotland have got those numbers behind the ball. Look at more difficult to break down now.
Yeah, Scotland have gone much deeper in the last 5 minutes. You see Weah dropping much deeper to try and deal with that threat from Lauren James in behind the front 2 for England.
England are stretching the play ahead. Brilliant for Bronze. Would have been an excellent goal from England. They had found their feet at that back post, but not quite.
Fantastic feet from Lucy Bronze. Absolutely brilliant in that inside position. Little Cruyff turn in the box, just couldn't quite lay it off. Great little, wow, great little flick. I think Rachel Daly probably should have hit it first time once it came to her, but great turn from Lucy Bronze.
Just a reminder of her qualities, certainly going forward, Lucy Bronze. And this system does suit her.
Absolutely, this system is heavily focused on wing-backs, particularly attacking wing-backs, which Lucy Bronze is arguably the best in the world in that position and has been for a long time. I think we saw in the World Cup there is another side to that, though. Defensively, teams can exploit it, but going forward, it is very, very difficult to deal with a Lucy Bronze getting into inside positions, going on the outside as well, as we saw in the counter-attack earlier on.
Think about the level that England have been playing at, though, to reach a World Cup final. An excellent Spain to beat them in the end. Here's him. By Kerr. Greenwood. Kelly. Crosses in towards him. Cleared it very fast. Scotland, and that was the attempt from Stanway.
We've seen a few Georgia Stanway screamers from that position in the past. Connected with it well, great volley, but didn't quite test keeper enough.
She was backing herself there. So far, only played 16 minutes. Feels like a lot's happened already. They have looked threatening. Here's Kelly. Zelen. Really bright when she gets on the ball. She's often looking for that switch of play. It's Greenwood who gets it out to James. And James inside McLaughlin.
Just on that switch of play, said Lucy Bronze has got acres of space on this right-hand side. I think England have just got to recognise when that big switch is on, do it early, because Lucy is in acres of space and can exploit that space.
Absolutely. Seems which Scottish player is tasked with tracking her runs. I think they're unsure at the moment, but Alex Greenwood was one of England's standout players at the World Cup.
Yeah, Doherty for Scotland. It's her job to deal with Lucy coming out high and wide, but she seems a little bit unsure when Lucy has that space. She's staying close to her back line, but that's where England have to look to switch the ball quickly.
For Millie Bright and Jess Carter and Greenwood, they allowed the time to pick their passes, and that's what Bright's done out to Kelly. James. Again, ball is on to Bronze. It goes to his club teammate Jess Carter. Set up James for one of her brilliant goals at the World Cup. Bright to Greenwood. Chloe Kelly, the role that Rachel Daly was playing in at the World Cup. Carter, Bronze. Stan Hansen comes across, but Bronze is linking up well. Lucy Bronze, strong start. The Centurion in this team. Kelly. Brilliant work from Chloe Kelly. Somebody to pick out, almost reached Bronze. Scotland having to commit so many bodies back that Thomas is a little isolated here. Support is arriving though from Emsley. Just to get there, and Carter across.
Jess Carter had to get that one right. Good contact in the box, but yeah, she just
Well, there's no VAR. Get that in quickly.
I think Claire Emsley there's looking and appealing there, thinking, appealing for a penalty.
I think
Jess Carter might have got away with that one.
We're just checking. Scotland linking up well here, though. Oh, what a shot! What a save from Oates to keep out Caroline Weir. Big chance for Scotland, and it was their star player as well, Kerr.
Fantastic save from Mary Earps. The power that Caroline Weir's hit that ball with, and it's a snapshot strike as well, so, and it's close. It's from a very close distance. Great save from Mary Earps. And we talked about her a lot before the game. That's what she's there for. Comes up with big saves and big moments.
Well, Pedro Martinez-Losa, he thought that was the moment. I think we all did, really. But Mary Earps showing again why she's England's Player of the Year. Making the big saves. But from Scotland's point of view, so close. After a start in which England have been on top, things can change quickly in football, and Scotland hope to do that there.
It should give Scotland some confidence, because, as you said, they have been quite deep so far in this game. But they've had a few moments where they've been able to break through. You see this again here. It's a great strike from Weir. It's a really strong hand from Mary Earps keep that out.
We'll put everything behind that. Bronze. Into Zelen. Things simple in that midfield. Almost scoring the opener there. Here's Kelly. Zelen to Carter. And good pressure. And once more. Stanway to Bronze. Lift Scotland that moment.
You just see there in that moment as well, Seb, Jess Carter not really looking to play through Katie Zellem there. Katie Zellem's demanding the ball. Got to try and continue to recycle and play through the midfield rather than getting stuck on the right-hand side.
And that for Lauren Hemp. Winning the ball. I didn't know she was there. Here's Zellen.
Great defensive play from Lauren Hemp to win the ball back. Brilliant work rate. We saw it throughout the World Cup, particularly in that game against Australia. Just incredible performance from Lauren Hemp on and off the ball.
So we had this World Cup. Here's Hemp. So close in the final as well, hitting the woodwork. A chance she had at the back post. Greenwood. James. Good turn. It'll be a corner. From Grimshaw getting back there.
This is the position where Lauren James is so dangerous. Finds those pockets of space and then bursts into the box.
England corners, so many of these England players, most of these England players playing their first competitive game since the World Cup final. Zellen with the corner in towards Daly, and there she is to open the scoring for England and open their accounts in the Nations League. A thunderous header from Rachel Daly, up front again for England and doing what she does so well.
Yeah, quintessential Rachel Daly header. One of the best in the world in the air. Fantastic connection with the ball. Great goal.
Hold on a minute. Well, I think the celebrations are cut short for offside. Player right in front of the goalkeeper. And this is going to be explained to England right now. It's Chloe Kelly. And so this goal is not going to stand. Chloe Kelly in an offside position and deemed to have obstructed the Scotland goalkeeper, Lee Gibson.
That's an interesting decision, that said, but it doesn't look like Chloe Kelly's really obstructed Gibson there. If anything, she's doing her job. You know, I used to have that job as a forward on corner kicks. Your job is to distract the goalkeeper. Interesting decision. But England have looked very threatening from set pieces so far. A lot of corners, a lot of opportunities to put the ball into the box. Unfortunate there to get that goal disallowed.
Big header from Daly, but it doesn't count. Carter. Looking for the run of him. We'll see across with enough of a lean on him, but it will be an England corner, and England have been so dangerous in corners. So Zellum to take the corner kick. Will she aim for Daly? Zellum towards the back post. Oh, there's so many England players who could have got near that one.
Nearly another Rachel Daly connection there on that corner. Scotland are not doing a good job of picking up Rachel's run from the edge of the box. On the disallowed goal, Rachel was free header. Got to try and sort out that organisation, Pedro Loza, on corners for England, because they are looking very, very threatening.
Zellum. Good ball out towards Kelly. Stanwyck. Just about finds Greenwood, but she can't get there quickly enough, and Scotland can break. And this is very promising. Hansen allowed to carry it a long way, and Emsley's in the middle, and so is Thomason, just evades her in the end. Another big chance for Scotland.
We talked about the threat of the front three for Scotland, and great run from Hansen, and what a tempting ball this is. Brilliant, right in that corridor where Mary Earps is tested, right in behind Millie Bright, and Thomas just couldn't get that connection, but great ball from Hansen and great break from Scotland.
Alpha Thomas wasn't that far away there. She's just moved to Tottenham in the WSL from Manchester United. English born forward. Carter's clearance only as far as Kerr. Mopped up by Zellum. Here's James. She'll move it quickly on to Kelly. And Kelly ducks inside, went for it herself. Daly lays it off. Stanway urged to shoot. Slips the pass, looking for bronze, almost pulled it off.
Just not the right way to pass there from Stanway to Lucy Bronze, who again is getting in some really threatening positions on this right-hand side for England.
Kelly. And Hemp jumping off to get involved. Kelly. Kelly will get that back. And sends a teasing ball in, looking for Daly. Stanway couldn't win it. Carter. Now Zellum. It's had a very tidy first half indeed.
She has, Seb, and I think Katie Zellum, you know, this is what this position requires. It's the consistency and trust. We saw it at the World Cup, her coming in for Kira Walsh. Very, very steady performance against China.
But Scotland in through Thomas. Thomas playing that extra pass. But they've had a few moments like that now, Scotland.
Yeah, they do seem to be breaking, Seb, when they've got the opportunity to, and England have to figure out how to sort that out in terms of Katie Zellum being isolated on that break, particularly when Lucy Bronze goes forward. There are some counter-attacking opportunities for Scotland that they've taken quite well so far.
Interesting first half so far. England have had a lot more of the ball. But Scotland have had their moments. Carter. Again. Earps out to Greenwood. Greenwood couldn't quite get that under control. This isn't the only thing taking place in this particular group. Belgium are hosting the Netherlands. 0-0 in that particular game. Challenging from Kelly. Weir. Hasn't been able to get on the ball as much as she would like in this game, but has had Scotland's best chance. Emsley looking for Thomas, put behind by Bright. Have looked dangerous, Scotland, when they have had the ball.
They have, particularly their front three. When Scotland get it to their front three, either Hansen and Emsley are looking to put the ball in the box with great crosses. We saw that one from Hansen. Martha Thomas is staying, keeping the England backline honest and staying in between the centre-backs. So, look threatening so far when they've got the ball.
Their first corner of the game. And Weir sends it in. Just got a touch on that. Thomas. And Thomas, good turn. And shoots. And it's easy enough for Earps in the end. Well, she did a bit of a number there on Lauren Hemp.
Yes. Good bit of skill from Martha Thomas. Chopped her, I think you'd say.
Hemp would have been proud of that one. Here's Zenham. So thought they were in front, but the goal disallowed for Daly. So we'll still await the opener. Here is Daly. You fancy this, Daly? She does! Just wide. I think Gibson seemed very confident that was going wide.
Maybe a bit too confident, because it was a great strike. And yeah, I think Rachel Daly there potentially could have passed it back to Lauren Hemp on the overlapping run. It's not a bad attempt. Yeah, I'm not sure about this disallowed. It doesn't look like Chloe Kelly's making any contact there at all with Gibson. She's doing exactly her job. And as I said, you know, as a forward, that's what you're supposed to do.
England's almost in again. Here's Hemp. I think Serena agrees with you there.
Yeah, I think Serena looked disappointed, but that is literally the job of the forward on the keeper, is to distract them, not obstruct them, obviously, within the laws of the game, but you've got to distract them. And yeah, strange decision.
Well, for Lee Gibson, formerly known as Lee Alexander, in the World Cup. It is indeed her birthday tomorrow. It's 32. I didn't want to mention it, but I will anyway. Stanway. Kelly. And Stanway. And to Bronze. It's looking for him. Steps forward there. Good work. The defender. McLaughlin. To Corsi. Loses it. Rachel Corsi. Now Daly. Kemp. Stanway, little clip ball in there. Howard. Header away. Comfortable in possession. Kelly determined to try and run with the ball there, but that's one back, and here's Emsley. Weir. Did help that on nicely. Also does the same. Here's Hansen. Decent move this from Scotland. Hansen. Going herself. She's got the options to pass to Hansen. Grimshaw.
Great defending there from Lucy Bronze, just to shepherd Hansen down the line, make it predictable for Lucy to defend that.
Petit sends that in, and Thomas. Well, she was shoved there. Referee waves away. Not too many of the Scotland players protesting. Thomas still down.
There's definitely contact, Seb. Definitely contact from Millie Bright there. Whether it's enough to justify a penalty, obviously Martha Thomas may suggest there is.
It did seem to be one of those scenarios where the referee had pointed to the spot there, it wouldn't be overturned. But she didn't. Not too many of the Scotland players were appealing it. I think Thomas will when she's able to get to her feet. But Scotland have had their moments. They've grown into the game.
Yeah, the likes of Caroline Weir, influential players for Scotland, are growing into the game. Hansen growing into the game. Going forward, when Scotland have the opportunity, they have looked dangerous, tested England's back line.
And of course, this new Nations League format, it's the first edition of it, and England in a group with Scotland and also with Belgium and the Netherlands, 0-0 at half-time in that match. And Wales in action in a difficult group alongside Denmark and Germany. Wales are 1-0 down to Iceland. They played about 60 minutes in that particular game. Denmark beating Germany earlier on today. And Spain, big winners against Sweden, 3-2. A 96th minute penalty won it in that particular game. And speaking of Spain, La Liga action on ITV4 this Sunday as Atletico Madrid face Real Madrid, the Madrid derby. You won't want to miss that one.
That's fucking embarrassing.
You see Martha Thomas there complaining to the referee as to why that wasn't a penalty.
So she's just waiting to come back on.
I've been on the receiving end in training from force from the back from Millie Bright. It's not pleasant, I'll tell you that.
So you're looking for the right word there. Fouled is what you're saying. Yeah? Here's James. Zellum. Looking for bronze. Brilliant run! Brilliant header! Brilliant goal for England! And that one will count. And for Lucy Bronze, a big moment for a big player.
Well, it's been coming, Seb. We've been saying it. Lucy Bronze on this right-hand side has had a lot of space. And it was just a case of England finding her in that space to exploit it. Absolutely fantastic ball from Katie Zellum. Sees the run from Lucy Bronze. And what a connection. Great header. But it's brilliant from Lucy Bronze. She's just really timed her run at the right time to exploit the space that she's been trying to exploit all game. Great goal from England.
Tight whether it's onside or offside, but there's no VAR. The flag stayed down and England in front. And for the most experienced member of the team, the one who scores the goal.
And that's the risk and reward, Seb, for Lucy Bronze in this position. She's such a great attacking player, despite her being a defensive player in this system. That's what she can do. When the timing's right and the movement's right, it's beautiful to watch.
The 13th goal for England on her 113th cap. Well, as you said, felt it was coming from Lucy Bronze from her first half.
Absolutely, and huge credit to Katie Zellum for the ball, for the vision. Because there's been a few times in this game that England have not seen Lucy Bronze in that space. And just the pass and the timing and the inside run all came together at the right time. And a good moment as well just before half-time.
Many, of course, you know Lucy Bronze so well in your time with England. A player who made her debut for England a decade ago, still going strong.
Yeah, I do know Lucy well. I know her well from playing against her as well. Obviously, certainly at the time when she was at Man City, I was playing on the wing for Chelsea, and those were my toughest games, to be honest, Seb, playing against Lucy Bronze, because you really do have to figure out, how am I going to get past her? She's so strong, but then you've got to have your defensive head on as well as a winger, because she goes forward like she did then for that goal. So she really tests and brings the best and the worst out of wingers.
As you said earlier, in this system, it gives her even more licence to get forward. Here's Earps. Just that one lapse in the final against Spain, that one block, perhaps in this new position she's in for England. But a reminder in this game, such an effective weapon she can be for her country. And it all goes well. Certainly did for that goal.
It'll be important as well, Seb, for Lucy, because we saw in the World Cup final.
Here's Hemp. And she was just expecting bronze to be there. Telepathic, but not quite repaid.
Not that time. Now, as I was saying, I think that goal's important for Lucy, because I think she would have had, you know, she would have reminisced on that World Cup final game where, you know, she's left the space in where, you know, the goals come from for Spain. And you know, Lucy's one of the best in the world. She's put so much pressure on herself, sometimes too much pressure. She wants it so bad. So it's good to see her in this game scoring and sort of putting that behind her.
Well, she's won everything in the game except for the World Cup and, of course, this competition. So that's another thing she could add to her huge trophy cabinet. Inaugural Nations League.
Yeah, a serial winner, out-and-out winner. I don't think the winning mindset can be questioned.
Absolutely, and a reminder again of this format. It's a 4-team group. Everybody plays each other home and away. And we'll travel to Scotland to Hampden Park in the final group match. Here's Hemp. As it goes to Greenwood. Greenwood into James. Kelly looked dangerous on that left-hand side. Greenwood, first time ball in, might still work out for England. Cleared away by Kerr. Thomas will chase this, but Carter is across there quickly. Wouldn't expect too much added time in this first half. The ball's stayed in play a lot. Yes, Bright looking out towards that side, but I mentioned that 6 games that these teams have to play in their group. And England's final home match will be at Wembley against the Netherlands on December the 1st. Hoping for another sellout in that particular fixture. And Scotland welcome Belgium to Hampden in their next match.
Yeah, I like the fact, Seb, that these games are competitive games.
Oh, that's lost. And here's Daly. And James is in the middle, and Daly goes to the back post. It's another brilliant cross. It's another brilliant header. And it's Lauren Hemp. Daly to Hemp. And the cross is working out perfectly for England in this first half. 2-0.
Fantastic goal, 2 forwards combining together, Daly to Hemp. That's what this system can do. Threats to the back line and combinations. You see here just a great interception from Rachel Daly on the press. And she just waits, just patient, and then just lofts the ball in. And just great header from Lauren Hemp. Powerful header, just gets right in front of the defender there. 2 powerful headers from England to go into the half 2-0 up.
They've looked strong in the air tonight of England, and Serena Wiegmann delighted. And just 1 minute to be added on. We might get a bit more than that because England scoring so late in the half. And here's Bronze. Greenwood. Just getting that goal before half-time. A blow for Scotland. We'll look back at some of the moments they've had in the first half, but England have dominated the ball. It goes to Earps. Played her part in England, keeping a clean sheet in this first half, but they might not with Weir on the ball. Emsley. Weir waiting for the ball back. Emsley, that's a clever ball across, and Hansen has a goal! And scores for Scotland. They get one back. England concede just before the half, and what a boost for Scotland before the break. And right on the break.
Yeah, great press from Scotland. It started off, Alex Greenwood did not expect the ball from Mary Earps there. An important goal for Scotland to go into with something at half-time.
Well, a lot's happened in this first half. With Lucy Bronze giving England the lead and Lauren Hemp doubling the advantage, but right before the break, Scotland have got a route back into it. Hansen with a goal in added time, and at half-time, it's England 2, Scotland 1.
What an end to that opening half. 3 goals in 8 minutes. It was Lucy Bronze that opened the scoring for England, her 13th goal for country. Lauren Hemp then doubled the lead with an excellent ball in from Rachel Daly, but it wasn't long before Kirsty Hansen got on the score sheet with her 2nd goal for Scotland and has got Scotland right back in it. I don't know about you, but I am extremely excited about the second half because that was a very great ending to that opening 45 minutes. Let's get straight to it. Lucy Bronze with her 13th goal, unlucky for some, but lucky for her.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's been making some good runs, but we just didn't have the quality in the final third to pick her out. But when this goal came through, I thought it was a really well-worked goal, working it from one side to the other. And I think Lauren James as well goes down the right-hand side. And what I think Lauren James does is she brings the Scotland players across. They go over, they double, they try and take 3 people over. You see Bronze highlighted in that right-hand side. Zella now, bang, sees Bronze. Brilliant execution, weight of pass. Bronze just goes in. Hansen switches off, but this ball there, look, I think if VAR's in, I think she might have been offside, but look, I'm an England fan, I don't care, but it's a brilliant ball in and a great finish header-wise from England, and I thought we lacked a little bit in the final third, but this kind of got us on our way.
Yeah, it did, yeah. And I think that when you look at the goals, both of them could have easily been avoided from Scotland's point of view, because if you look at it, Kirsty Hansen had a lot of time to see Lucy Bronze, and then we'll see our 2nd goal as well. I think it's Rachel McLaughlin. You know, they lose the ball in Scotland, which is unlucky, but like it's great play from Rachel Daly. But when you look where Lauren Hemp is and where Rachel is, she's got to go and attack that. So you're looking at two goals, what could have been avoided, but like those are the margins. You know, they just haven't quite, you know, like Kirsty Hansen hasn't quite seen Lucy Bronze in time, and then she's waiting. Don't know what she's waiting for there, Rachel McLaughlin. But
how good
in
was
the
the
end,
delivery?
it's a great cross and a great header. Could have easily been avoided from Scotland's point of view.
Well, let's talk about Scotland, and they did get their goal, didn't they? How good have they actually been in this opening half?
I think they've been brilliant. Look, don't get me wrong, it's fine margins, especially against a top team like England, but I've been most impressed with our counter-attacks. But 2-0 down to pick this up on the edge of the box, we do really well here. I think England were kind of 2-0 down, ready for half-time, and then what you don't want is Claire Emsley putting in balls in the box from that, and Kirsty Hansen does so well to just get in front. It was kind of Kirsty Hansen against Lucy Bronze, isn't it? Both ends of the pitch,
It's a mess
and Kirsty
from
Hansen
England,
gets on the end of that one.
It's just messy from England, though, playing out and not good possession. It's concentration, and fair play to Scotland. I think they've been really good in the final third.
They've done it a couple of times, actually.
Yeah.
Picked up on England's mistakes. We've seen a few counter-attacks in
Some
that
really
first
good
half. And
counter-attacks as well.
England playing sloppy passes, Scotland picking it up in great areas of the pitch.
Now, I can imagine all the Scotland fans watching right now will be thinking, we deserved a penalty. What did you think?
Yeah, they did. I thought that Millie Bright was very clumsy here in the back of
Martha Thomas.
Martha Thomas. Look at this. Look, that's a pen. How they don't get that, then we go up the other end and we score from it. Look at this. That's a penalty. You know, I think the referee's in a good position as well to see that. She's got to give that. That is, you know what I mean? Millie's made a poor decision there to try and go through her, and they should have got a penalty there because we scored in the next 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned Martha Thomas. She's been quite involved in this opening half. How good has she been?
She's been great. You know what? She's dealt with the press very well. She's left it very late, kind of falling into that trap. Yeah. England making mistakes in the middle of the press, and she's starting it from the front foot. That's what I'd love to see more from Scotland, getting higher up the pitch, not falling into that low block as often, because that's when they're going to cause problems, letting England getting into a flow. Win the ball higher up the pitch, set up that trap. Martha Thomas leads the way on that.
I think as well, when you look at Scotland's goal, I think you see Scotland have got to be braver in trying to go. If England break the press, then so be it, but they've got to be braver doing that because they've got a goal from it.
Well, it is indeed all to play for in this second half here at the Stadium of Light. It's been a great opening half. The last 8 minutes delivered 3 goals. What will we see in the second half? We'll be back in just a few moments. See you then. Our next live football is a fantastic match from La Liga. It's the Madrid derby and a chance to see Jude Bellingham in action for Real Madrid. That's on Sunday at 7:30 on ITV4 and ITVX. Then England have their next Nations League game in Utrecht against the Netherlands on Tuesday at 6:15. And don't forget, we have our regular EFL highlights show. That's tomorrow at 9 o'clock, all on ITV4 and ITVX. Now, just before we head back into the second half, Jen, talk us through some of the chances that Scotland had.
I thought this was a lovely bit of play, and people don't really look at throw-ins as a set piece and how much teams actually practice that, but what a finish from Caroline Weir. I would have put money on that hitting the back of the net. This one was just really sloppy play from England, and where do you want Kirsty Hansen picking up the ball? It's this area of the pitch. Drive into the space. This is where her real attributes show. Martha Thomas will be kicking herself there, not getting on the end of it. What a chance that was for Scotland.
And I guess from Scotland's perspective, Righty, Pedro Losa will just be saying more of the same, sure.
Well, more of the same the way it ended, and be a little bit more, but get closer to them. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Yes, they're going to break because they've got quality players, but have a go at them, because you've seen they're a bit tentative at the back. They'll make mistakes, and then it's up to you to try and make the best you can with those chances, because they're not going to have a lot of possession, so they've got to make sure they take advantage when they can win the ball back off of England, who are being very sloppy in some stages.
Yeah, and you think it's only a matter of time before the Scotland team could take advantage. I mean, they could have been ahead in this game.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just been listening to Backstreet Boys being blasted out behind us right now.
One of your favourite tracks?
Absolutely. But, you know, I think Scotland just got to have more confidence in the final third. They've had the chances, haven't they? And England just been very sloppy at times.
OK, well, it's all to play for in this second half. England currently leading 2-1. It's now time to hand you back to your commentators, Eni Aluko and Seb Hutchinson.
Well, England are looking to cruise into half-time, but that Scotland goal has given them hope of getting something from the Stadium of Lights. A big second half ahead for these two teams. And no changes. So Scotland get us underway in this second half, and that Kirsty Hansen goal just before half-time has given something for Scotland to build on.
Absolutely. I think Hansen's probably been Scotland's most dangerous player. She's got a big opponent in Lucy Bronze up against her, but she's been effective. She's put in a great cross earlier on in the first half, and then obviously got the goal just before half-time. So that will give Scotland some confidence. But I think it's for England, really, to keep controlling the game and just tidy up at the back. That Scotland goal has come from a press and some miscommunication between Alex Greenwood and Mary Earp. So as long as England continue to control and exploit the right spaces, I think they'll continue to dominate.
Williams gets that ball forward. These two countries met in the Cyprus Cup in 2013. Game ended 4-4. Here's Weir going for the spectacular. Scored some stunning goals in her career, and she was certainly going for that one.
Yeah, she scored some really stunning goals in her career, and that was an ambitious effort off her knee and off the volley. But it's an interesting matchup actually in that midfield between Katie Zellem and Caroline Weir. It's up to Katie Zellem to keep getting in the right spaces ahead of Caroline Weir to set the tempo for England.
Scotland already with a taste for the England goal in this second half. And there's no doubt when you concede before half-time like England did, as frustrating as that would have been, how would that have changed the team talk at half-time?
I don't think it would have changed certainly the way England have looked promising going forward. I think it's about how to just tighten up a little bit, certainly midfield. Katie Zellem sometimes on the counter-attack for England has looked a little bit isolated because she's in that defensive midfield position alone. So I think Serena Wiegman would have looked to tweak that slightly because Scotland did have some counter-attacking moments in that first half.
Here's Zellem into Stanway. That early shot on goal from Caroline Weir. And a player plays for her old side, Manchester City. Jill Ward gave the Netherlands the lead about a minute or so ago, but Belgium have equalised just a minute afterwards. 1-1 in that game, in the other game in this group. And a reminder that Scotland host Belgium start of next week, and England travel to the Netherlands. Carter. Bronze looking to get it back. Here's Daly. Bronze in the penalty area again. It's pulled back to Zellum. Went for the first pass perhaps. Didn't quite get that under control. Here's Greenwood. Now Carter.
It's a great defensive header from Millie Bright there. Great technique to just head it with the back of her head. And pass it as well. I'm not sure I could do that.
Joe Marler-esque to bring in a rugby reference. His assist the England team. A reminder that the Rugby World Cup is exclusively live on ITV. Scotland playing Tonga tomorrow. Right, out to Bronze. And Bronze, and the flag goes up. Didn't look inside at first glance. Richard Daly.
Yeah, right decision. Rachel Daly, you see, just gets ahead of the back line there. But good movement nevertheless. She's playing that 9 role very well today, along with Lauren Hemp.
She's up against her club teammate Rachel Corsie, centre of that Scotland defence. Loose pass from Zellum to Emsley. Good pressure from James. And Lauren James might fancy this. Oh, she went for that far corner. But again, Gibson, comfortable to see it go wide.
A great play from Lauren James there. Just recovers the ball. It's been a few times that McCallaghan has done that. And when Lauren James is in this position, this is when she's most dangerous. That curling finish that she likes, that we saw at the World Cup. Couldn't quite execute it this time.
Just for a brief moment there, Scotland had the chance to break again with the numbers. Not quite. The ball's in play for so long, I had a chance to fully explain the Nations League situation, but I will get there. How this competition works. This might be the moment as Mary Earps plays it short to Carter. The winner of this group will qualify for the semi-finals. As Hemp was away for England here. Lauren Hemp waited for the support to arrive. Scotland able to clear. Here's Zellum. Now Greenwood. The 1-2 between James and Kelly. From Grimshaw was tucked into that area to help out McLaughlin when she can. Again about that Scotland midfield. Kerr is just joined by Munich, Grimshaw at AC Milan, and Weir at Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's good to see that the Scottish players are playing at big clubs abroad, as well as the WSL. It's only going to help their competitiveness for their national teams. Caroline Weir probably being the most successful export so far at Real Madrid, has done really well there. Sam Kerr, I'm sure, always gets compared to the other Sam Kerr.
There's Thomas, looks for Hansen. And Bronze on the cover. Here is Thomas again. Kerr gets it moving to Emsley. And Emsley on the front foot, and a dangerous ball in. Well defended by Millie Bright, because that can always go the other way. Here's Daly. Now Bronze. The scoreline as it is, a game well set. Here's Greenwood. Kelly. Now Kelly to put pace into the attack there. And Emsley sliding in. Strong challenge and a fair one according to the referee. But the play will stop there. Crunching one though.
Yeah, fair tackle, I think, from Claire Emsley. Physical, gets the ball. Shows that this is a rivalry, competitive rivalry between England and Scotland. Why not? A few tackles.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned Sam Kerr, and when she met her namesake when Scotland beat Australia, well, the Australian Sam Kerr was rested for that game, but Scotland beating the World Cup co-hosts, but the two Kerrs posed for a picture after that game.
I wonder if they're long-lost relatives.
Long lost. Here's James. It's where Scotland have had a few problems passing out from the back and giving the ball away, giving England a chance to get on the front foot, but that was better from Corsie. Over 140 caps, Rachel Corsie in that Scotland back line. So much experience. Her injury problems recently. Just out of the World Cup.
Yeah, a real leader for Scotland, very, very experienced. Rachel Corsie has played around the world for clubs. Obviously, Aston Villa has been part of their success as well in climbing up the WSL.
You mentioned that played in the US and in Australia. So debut back in 2009. A lot of the ball in the last few minutes. Hansen has that goal to her name in this game. And spotting the gap, Hansen. Good work, Thomas. Just couldn't wrap her foot around that one, but Hansen has looked dangerous in this game for Scotland.
Absolutely, good strength there from Hansen and persistence. This time goes in the inside of Lucy Bronze and plays a good ball to Martha Thomas, who's been patrolled quite well, I think, by Millie Bright. I think Wrighty said in the studio it did look like a penalty in the first half, and I agree. I think that's the only time Millie Bright's probably made the wrong decision up against Martha Thomas so far.
There's Weir. Looking to turn away from Zellum. And Weir to Hansen. And Hansen crosses it in. Oh, it was just behind. He's rushing onto it from midfield. Grimshaw wasn't that far away. The way this game has gone, even though England had so much of the ball and created chances themselves, we expect them to do that. But Scotland have shown they can cause the European champions a fair few problems. Stanway, Hemp. Daly looking to get up. Support of Hemp. Decides just to wait to try and hold on to the ball. Here's Kelly. Greenwood. James. On to Hemp. Daly waits. Kelly. Greenwood. Kelly again. Plays that ball, a good ball as well towards Daly. He clears it away.
You just see in that situation on this left-hand side for England, the minute they double up and create 2v1s, they get joy. And you see there Chloe Kelly just gets in the right position, puts a good cross in. Rachel Daly can't quite connect with it, but good movement nevertheless. But you just see, just before that passage of play, Lauren Hemp is on her own 2v1. When England get up with the wingers and get up with the forwards and create those 2v1s, they get more success out of the play.
Well, England's first change. Chloe Kelly, what a reception she's getting for coming off, and likewise Ella Toone coming on, who scored that stunning goal in the semi-final against Australia. And she'll come on to replace Kelly, so this will be a reshuffle here from England. You wouldn't expect Ella Toone to be playing where Kelly was.
No, I'd expect Lauren James now to come out on the left-hand side where Chloe Kelly's come off, and obviously Ella Toone goes into that sort of 10 role in behind the forwards.
Or maybe Daly.
Well,
He's been instructed to go out. We'll see after this throw-in. And we're tackled by Zellum. Bronze to Hemp. Bronze. Here's Greenwood. Now Daly. Nice touch for Ella Toone. Lauren James. And James. Back to Daly. And Daly swings one in, and there's Bronze in there again. Arriving England, want a penalty, but I think the decision's going to go the other way.
Yeah, I think it looks like it might be Lauren Hemp and Lauren James up front, with Rachel Daly coming out on this left wing back role. Definitely a foul from Lauren Hemp. I don't think there's any complaints about that one. Caught Hansen right with the boot.
Absolutely. That'll give me a chance to mention how the Nations League works.
You're trying to get in, aren't
Absolutely. Well, these teams in the top tier of the groups in the Nations League, there are 4 groups of 4 in League A, and the winners of those groups go into the semi-finals, which will be in February. And the winners of the semi-finals in the final, and the winner of the final will be the Nations League champion. But there is an additional element as far as the Olympic Games are concerned. I'll wait to explain that.
I have to say, generally, Seb, I like the fact that the Nations League is a competitive competition. You know, gone are the days where you're playing friendlies, overloading the fixture schedule with friendlies that don't really mean much. I like the fact that there's a lot at stake. There's an Olympic place at stake. It's replaced the Euros and the World Cup qualifiers.
Almost in again. Is this going to be a corner? Not quite. England were hoping for that. But Team GB hoping to be present at the Olympic Games in France. But UEFA only get 3 spots in the Olympic Games, and France already have one of those. So the 2 finalists in the Nations League will qualify for the Olympics. But as far as Team GB are concerned, who will be managed by Serena Wiegmann, if they get there, only England can help them qualify. If Scotland were to reach the Nations League final, that would not qualify Team GB. A very interesting scenario. And we spoke about Caroline Weir, who would very much be in the running to start for that Team GB side, let alone be in the squad. Interesting dynamic. Will become that final group match at Hampden Park.
Well, I suppose it will be a win-win situation, wouldn't it, for Scotland potentially, and for some Scotland players who could be in contention for Team GB. I think Hansen's another one that we probably didn't mention before, but she's certainly showed her abilities and qualities to potentially play in that Team GB team if there is a qualification.
Hansen's cross is a good one as well, and it found Thomas right on cue, singing Hansen's praises, and she's causing England problems.
Yeah, Martha Thomas this is her threat in the air. From a standing position, Hansen puts another great ball in. And this is what Martha Thomas could do. She can't necessarily direct it. I think either side of Mary Earps would have caused them more problems there. But strong-headed nevertheless.
And just this 1 goal lead for England. Talking about interesting scenarios in the final group match. What about this one at the moment? Still 1-1 between Belgium and the Netherlands. And Wales losing to Iceland in their Nations League group. Cross comes in again. Emsley keeping it alive. McLaughlin. And these crosses are making life awkward for England at the moment. Just to remind you, Wales are in League A as well, so they are in contention to get into that Nations League final. That result won't help though, but Wales, another of the home nations who can't help Team GB qualify. Only England can. Northern Ireland not in League A. But Scotland here sense an equaliser. Second corner, Caroline Weir sends it in. And it just wouldn't quite break there, England get it away. Doherty, that run out of play. The new Rangers captain, Nicola Doherty for this season, vice-captain the previous 2 seasons. And they are 8 games into Scottish Women's Premier League. And Claire Emsley being ordered to leave the pitch if you want to put your boot back on. And she's just stalling things to get it back on, so she can come straight back on.
I'm not sure what difference it makes going off the pitch to put a boot on, but such are the rules.
Absolutely. Doherty looking for an option here and asking for one. It's it to Kerr. Hansen almost got round Bronze, but gets it back. Nasty Hansen. A good game. Aston Villa forward. Thomas, loose touch that allowed Bright to get in, but here's Weir. Weir carrying the ball so well. And Emsley couldn't link up with Weir, but she's starting to tick Caroline Weir.
It's a let-off again from England. Again, another sloppy pass playing out from the back. You see there, Katie Zellum just playing that square pass and Scotland being high enough to capitalise on it. Actually, Claire Emsley probably had more time there to shape up and probably have a shot.
This is a good spell for Scotland. McLaughlin, Weir! Block was put in quickly, it had to be. Stanway. It's a rocky period for England here. Good pressure from Scotland. It's interesting that you've got Hansen and Thomas who are leading that charge for Scotland, 2 players born in England.
Hansen, Thomas and Weir. If you look at Weir, she's pressurising Katie Zellum. So Zellum's played 2 negative passes now that's led to Scotland's press, which has threatened England.
Scotland, they sensed in this game that if there was one area they could particularly get at England, it's in that midfield area. No Kira Walsh. Again, saw Zellum on the ball and we're not that far away, and now Daly is having to take up a new position, having to twist and turn. It does win the free kick, but it's the best spell of the game for Scotland.
Yeah, England have just got to find a way to just recognise when that press is on and be a little bit more direct, rather than some of these intricate passes in midfield that are getting cut out.
Enough of a touch there to cause Daly a problem.
Well, Scotland are certainly playing higher up. It looks like Pedro Losa is instructing the players, get higher, particularly Caroline Weir on Katie Zellum.
This comes McLaughlin. Midway through this second half. It's been Scotland's second half, you could say. Here's James. We'll change that for England. Hart with the loose pass. Relatively quiet night for Lauren James, who had quite the World Cup. Stunning start to it. brilliant performance, particularly in that China game, and then sending off against Nigeria. He was only able to return from the bench in the final, but not enough to change the tide for England in the final.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of lessons, life lessons, that will stay with Lauren James through that World Cup. But irrespective, 3 games, 3 goals, 2 assists for a 21-year-old player is not bad going. So Lauren James is the future of this England team. I'm sure she'll keep growing and maturing with this team.
Absolutely a talent, no doubt. Here's Hansen. Hansen looking to run at Bronze. Surge past Lucy Bronze, who defends it well. Was hoping that ball would run out of play. Carter. Looking for the free kick, does get it. So I mentioned about the fact that UEFA have 3 positions at the Olympic Games. But I'll hold that thought while you look at this foul, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a foul. Jessica, I assume, was going to let go of the ball prior to that because there was pressure from Hansen, but gets the foul and England can move up the pitch.
And of course, France being hosts, France are also playing in the Nations League. Half-time, they're winning against Portugal tonight. If France were to reach the final, then it would go to the 3rd place playoff between the losing semi-finalists. Don't ask me if it's a Scotland-France final. It's knocked down the semi-finalists. Here's Kurt. Doherty. Of course, England favourites for this group, narrowly in front of the Netherlands, but the way Scotland have played today, even if they don't get something from this game, they won't be frightened of the other teams in this group, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. I think we saw from the World Cup the gap that's closed. Certainly the gap between the European teams is very, very close. Most teams now should not be afraid of competing with the best like England, and I think Scotland have certainly done that today.
Caroline Weir again showing her quality. She felt she should have had a free kick there.
I think the other thing with that factor is that, you know, these players play for big clubs around Europe. You know, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. So there's no reason to fear, you know, any European team once they come into these situations.
Strong second half from Scotland. Will it be enough to at least find an equaliser? Looking down the line. They do have strength and depth in Scotland. To bring on like Ella Toon into the game. So far, reluctant to make a change. The talented teenager Emma Watson unavailable for selection. I understand. 17 years of age and she's just joined Manchester United from Rangers. Forward Amy Gallagher put into the frame as well after a strong start for Celtic this season. Stanway, good ball to Toon. Toon fights Bronze with the back heel. England crafting something here. And goes the cross, not coming too far. I think it fell to Zell, and Weir was in there. They haven't cleared it and put over by James.
It's a brilliant initial ball from Georgia Stanway to Ella Toon. It causes this overlap from Lucy Bronze. Just doesn't fall for Hayley Zellum to connect with it. And a speculative effort there from Lauren James, but really good initial play on the right-hand side there. And that's the kind of direct play that sometimes when you're under pressure in midfield, just put it over the top into the space for Ella Toon to run onto.
Reminder again that a few of these Scotland players are already about 8 games into their domestic season. Here's Thomas, although 2 of their brighter stars tonight, in Hansen and Thomas, the WSL contingent. Fitness, match fitness, getting yourself into the groove. It's interesting, this international period, of course.
I'm not sure. Oh, it's just come off Anson's face there, that the ball. Never pleasant when a ball smashes you in the face.
I believe you.
She's a tough cookie, I'm sure she's fine.
Thomas straight out to Hansen. Coursing. There's a fascinating sideshow going on between Weir and Zellum. Each other. On the Manchester City player against the current Manchester United player. Getting in each other's way there again.
Yeah, it's a really good battle in midfield. It's a tactical one as well. Because Katie Zellum, I think, is going to have to find a way to find space when England are building up. Because Weir is almost man marking her. Certainly the job, it looks like it's the job that Caroline Weir has been given to press Katie Zellum when she's on the ball.
There's Weir, McLaughlin, and Kerr. Dorsey. A lot more of the ball in the second half, Scotland. And here's Hansen. He's been prepared to run at Lucy Bronze at every opportunity. And Hansen, a wicked ball in! What a ball! He was just waiting for the touch, but Greenwood defends it excellently at the back post.
I think that's the word, Seb. Wicked, absolutely wicked ball, attempting one. This is not the first time we've seen this in the game from Hansen, but brilliant defending from Alex Greenwood. She's completely aware of what's on her back shoulder, knows that Emsley's creeping in, and good glancing header to get it out.
Kirsty Hansen, speaking to some Scottish journalists before, saying she has the game for international football. It really feels like that, and she's showcasing it here tonight. McLaughlin crosses it in, and punch from Earps, not that far. Oh, the crossbar. That would have been quite something from Hansen.
Brilliant positioning on the back post. That's what you want as a winger. When the ball's on the other side, you're there, ready.
She's enjoying herself here, Hansen. Might get that cross right. That was so close for Scotland again.
Yeah, you see, she's just hanging out. She does actually have time to bring it down, Seb, but great technique to catch it on the first volley. Comes off her shin, but hits the bar. But I've really enjoyed Hansen's performance. She's playing with no fear. And she's been a real threat for Scotland tonight, and obviously got the goal in the first half as well.
Showcasing what she can do after it didn't quite work out at Manchester United, loaned to Aston Villa last season, and joining them for this one. In a team with Rachel Daly. Carter. Hanson's not been afraid to run at Lucy Bronze and attack that channel. It's been seen as an area teams want to get at England, that space behind Lucy Bronze. Having to get through a lot of work down that side. This is a game still in the balance. Taking at that Scotland goal before half-time has given them so much confidence in this second half.
Yeah, the game's certainly still in the balance. Scotland have actually looked the stronger of the two teams, I think, this second half.
England can quickly change that. Howard is there. No wonder Loza hasn't made a change yet. Here's Stanway, long way out, and watched all the way by Lee Gibson. It's an eventful final in the World Cup when Scotland were 3-0 up with about a quarter of an hour left against Argentina. Ended up drawing 3-3. It's Hansen. Again, a magnet to the ball at the moment. Thomas. Here's Daly. Now Zillam. Relatively quiet second half for England. But Zillam looking to change it with a ball forward.
That's the first time in this first half Katie Zellam's found space away from Caroline Weir to dictate play. Just a shame she couldn't execute it in the right way as she did in the first half for Lucy Bronze's goal.
Well, we've seen 3 goals in this game, and indeed Lucy Bronze with the opener.
Yeah, fantastic ball from Katie Zellam. I love the timing of it, the run, and this is another great header from Lauren Hemp, the 2 forwards combining. And then Scotland find a way to get back into the game from what I think is certainly the best player for Scotland tonight.
Well, 2-1. Well, I was going to just interrupt you there, Rennie, because 2-1 in this game and 2-1 to Belgium with an added time goal. A second goal for them, Yassina Bloom scoring. And will that be the winner? That game is nearly finished. It's kicked off a bit earlier than this one. And that would be quite a statement win for Belgium over the Netherlands, who would have been the second favourites in this group. We talked about the winner of this group going to the finals. The team that finishes bottom in this group would be relegated to League B. And the third place team in this group would have a playoff against the second place team in League B. You're keeping up.
I'm lost.
Competitive games, that's what's important. We're certainly seeing that tonight in this game, and seemingly in that game in Belgium. Be quite something. If Scotland were to get something from this game.
But again, it just exemplifies, doesn't it, Seb, even with that result, Belgium against Netherlands, just there's no easy games now in European international football. There's no such thing. Belgium did not go to the World Cup. Netherlands were very strong at the World Cup, but it really doesn't mean anything because the gap is closed. And it's great for competitions like this to show the level of parity across Europe.
Exactly, this performance from Scotland, another showcase of that. Howard goes long. Here's Stanway. Team GB qualified for the last Olympic Games by finishing or reaching the semi-finals of the 2019 World Cup. That situation, as mentioned before, does not apply for the next Olympics. Otherwise, we would have seen Spain and England there. Spain started strongly by beating Sweden. 2 giants of the women's game now. 3-2 in Sweden. And I mentioned Amy Gallagher about 10 minutes ago, and she's coming on for her Scotland debut here to replace the impressive Thomas. Lisa Evans, the experienced former Arsenal and Bayern Munich player, is also coming on, but in Gallagher's case, a special night for her. 9 goals already this season, and a player with real football heritage. Her father's cousin, Kevin Gallagher, who won the Premier League with Blackburn, had 50 caps for Scotland. Grandfather Tom Gallagher won 2 League Cups with Dundee, and her great-grandfather Patsy Gallagher, a former Celtic great in the 1920s.
That's some generational Scottish pedigree. Amazing.
It's been added to tonight with the first cap for Amy Gallagher. Would be something if she could find the equaliser here for Scotland. Charge down Earps there, wasn't that far away from getting there, but Earps finds Bronze. Bronze was caught by Doherty. We'll go back for the free kick. Here's a result in Belgium, incidentally. Belgium have beaten the Netherlands. And with that result in Belgium, well, it sets things up nicely for the Netherlands hosting England in Utrecht on Tuesday, and that game is on ITV4 and ITVX. Will England go to that game with a win? We will see. Still about 7 minutes to go. It's added time. Daly. She was just caught there by McLaughlin. I think we're going to see the first yellow card of the game there. Got my eyes on you, says the referee.
Yeah, it's definitely a foul. McLaughlin there. A few times this game she has been too far off her wing back. She's letting Rachel Daly know she's there. She's still there.
Oh, lost by Zellum. Where? Just the player Scotland won on the ball. Will he create something here? Evans. Numbers in the attack as well. And straight from Grimshaw. Head in hands. Big chance.
Yeah, big chance for Scotland again. It starts from Caroline Ware intercepting a square pass from Kate Zellum. A few she's made tonight. And then great cut back from Lisa Evans. Didn't quite get the contact and the direction on the shot. But Caroline Ware's really come into her own in this game, really influencing all that's good for Scotland.
Feels like England haven't really had many attacks in the last 10 minutes at the very least. It's been Scotland now continuing to look dangerous down the line towards Evans. And Lauren James just getting up gingerly to her feet there. The referee just checking she was okay. But talking about Gallagher, of course, Lisa Evans coming on, a player with huge experience, her 98th cap tonight. Current West Ham player, very versatile player on that right-hand side. There's going to be a second change here for Scotland. Fiona Brown is coming on for McLaughlin. Brown can play at right back, and looks like she will play at right back. This for Rosengard. Alps goes long. Corsi. Hansen. Just over 41,000 in attendance tonight in the Stadium of Light. A big crowd welcoming England back after their World Cup final appearance. The last time they played here was a couple of years ago. A qualification victory over Austria, a game affected really by the local storm that prevented so many fans from reaching the ground. England in here, looking to seal the win if they can. Hemp just crowded out in the end. Scotland won a free kick, and the referee does blow through in the end.
Yeah, Lauren Hemp couldn't quite sort her feet out there to strike it first time. But clever play again from Ella Toon. Just couldn't quite get her stride right to get the strike off, and then just follows through for the foul.
Quite a second half for England, but they are still winning this game. There's a problem as the attendance is announced to the crowd. Enjoy hearing that, but we've seen Hansen have such an excellent game for Scotland, but some concern here for her. In a good way at the moment.
Yeah, looks very uncomfortable. But she's really put in an excellent performance tonight for Scotland. Looks really threatening, dangerous. Hit the bar, scored a goal. Scotland will hope that just looks like she's twisted her ankle there as it's got caught in the pitch. It's a nasty one.
I think he's hoping that she'll be able to shake this off, but I'm not sure about that.
Doesn't look good.
We saw Pedro Martinez-Los having a word with Lisa Evans, and there's a few Scotland players who he managed when he was at Arsenal between 2014 and 2017. He looks like he's going to have to make the change here and bring on Lauren Davidson of Glasgow City, who were a dominant side in Scotland till the recent improvement of Celtic and Rangers. Davidson will come on here for her 11th cap, but disappointment really for Scotland fans and for the game really, because Hansen was mightily impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive performance from Kirsty Hansen. She'll leave the game in confidence despite her going off injured.
We will be delighted to see her go off though. It's causing a lot of problems. 3 minutes to be added on here. And England in this sort of position, will they just start thinking about making sure they just win the game now?
Yeah, of course. I think they'll look to close out the game. England in this half have not controlled possession as best as we've seen them in the past. I think Scotland have done a good job on Katie Zellem in controlling that possession from the build-up for England.
Downward forward. Scotland still believe, will they try and push? Take a chance perhaps.
Certainly played much more front-footed in this second half. It's clearly something that Pedro Losa asked of his team at half-time.
It's James though. Flag does go up. I don't think James has noticed. She still hasn't noticed. The ball's in the nets. The crowd hasn't noticed.
Now she's noticed.
So England couldn't quite cap it off there.
Lauren James offside. It's good defensive play from Rachel Coursey there, just to recognise that she's nowhere near Lauren James, but she can step up to play her offside.
Saw a couple of supporters doing the VAR sign, but they're doing that in hope, really. There is no VAR. That goal will not stand. Scotland might just squeeze in here, and a spray from bronze to get away from Davidson.
Yeah, very good positioning from Lucy Bronze there, because Davison was just creeping in when that glancing header was made, trying to get on the end of it.
Is there one more chance for Scotland? Evans, Gallagher moves it wide. Weir's cross sent in and turns or claim. It's a tap by Brown, arriving from right back. Is that the last chance? It was. England win their opening game of the Nations League, and they win over their oldest of foes. A tight game, a tight scoreline after England had a strong first half and got into a 2-0 lead with goals from Bronze and Hemp. But Hansen's goal just before the break gave Scotland hope, and they came out in the second half on the front foot and caused the World Cup finalists plenty of problems, but not enough to deny the Lionesses the win. The final score from the Stadium of Light: England 2, Scotland 1.
So the scoreline was settled in the first half. It was Lucy Bronze that got on the score sheet to put the Lionesses 1-0 up. It wasn't long before Lauren Hemp doubled their lead to the delight of the manager, Sarina Wiegman. And then Kirsty Hansen, who we must say has had an excellent game. We hope she's okay with that injury. She got on the score sheet, but in the end, it was Sarina Wiegman's Lionesses that won by 2-1. And let's just have a look at the current state of play in the Nations League Group A1. So England and Belgium top the group with their victories. It's the Netherlands and Scotland third and fourth. And next up for England, it's a trip to the Netherlands, so that's going to be a very tough game indeed, and Scotland hosting Belgium. Now, we must say that group is very competitive. All of the teams are in the top 25. But let's now reflect on what's happened tonight as Becky Ives is talking to one of the goal scorers, Lucy Bronze.
Lucy, well done. Perfect start to this competition, but did Scotland make that quite difficult tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think them getting that goal right before half-time kind of changed the momentum of the game. And right till the end, they were creating chances. But I think in the first half, we did enough. We were by far the better team in the first half, but the second half was a little bit more even.
What shifted in that second half?
I think we just made a couple of more mistakes. I think they got a lot of confidence from scoring that goal. In the first half, I think they looked a little bit shaky at the beginning, and we looked a little bit more confident. But yeah, a couple of sloppy passes on our behalf let them get back into the game.
Well, look, your 113th cap and your 13th goal, that was quite spectacular as well, the flying header.
Yeah, it was actually something we worked on in the World Cup, but it never came off then, so saved it for tonight instead.
Well, I was going to ask if you'd worked on it in training, because Lauren Hemp also scored with a fairly spectacular one.
Yeah, I don't think Hempo's been practicing header, and she's always got her eyes closed, but my goal was something we practiced a few times in the World Cup, but never came off.
Excellent stuff.
Well, we talked about the importance of this game for England following the World Cup final. I mean, just how important was that goal for Lucy? Because she looked delighted.
Well, it's a great goal because, like, she does do a lot of, bursting into the box on the right-hand side, and she was free, like we showed. And it was a good header because it was behind her. She's done well to get her body adjusted to get the ball on target. It was a great goal. It was a fantastic goal.
It really was, and we're just seeing it now. And this all happened towards the end of that first half here. Yeah,
it did. Yeah, it's a great ball. It's a great pick out from Katie Zellerman. Like, you see it there, just behind her, but like gets herself in front of Kirsty Hansen. It's one of the few things she got wrong today, and it's a good header.
Yeah, and then this was the one there. They were just Scotland, just a little bit sloppy, and Rachel Daly does really well. Just picks out Empo at the back post and defending switch off because Lauren's actually behind the defender and then comes onto it. But I think Scotland will be disappointed with how they defended because it's come from their mistakes. But credit to England, great ball in. But I think the desire from Lauren Hemp to get in there and look, the manager was really happy because I think we dominated the first half, like Rach said, but it wasn't in the final third. We weren't really clicking and gelling.
Yeah, well, as for Scotland, I mean, they played really well in the second half, but in that first half, they did get on the score sheet. Kirsty Hansen, just how good was she throughout this entire match? And I must say, we really hope that she's okay because she did go off with an injury, didn't she?
She was brilliant today, right? We couldn't stop watching her. Every time she got on the ball, we felt like she was a threat in the final third. that one error, like we spoke about, Bronzy just got at the back of her shoulder, but I feel like she's coming into her prime now and playing consistent club football. She looked like she was enjoying herself tonight in front of a sold-out crowd, and you know, you're up against one of the best right backs in the world, and she made it. She gave it her all, and she did so well.
She gave her a chasing, Jen, to be honest. You know, every time I was saying to her, give her the ball, and that's what they should have done. Every opportunity she had, she was in that vein of form where every time she got on the ball, she made something happen, something positive happen.
This was the best one for me, where she just shifts the ball.
Yeah.
Quick bit of skill, shifts the ball, what across that back.
I just think of the last winger that really caused Lucy Bronze that much trouble tonight. I know it's early on in the season and building, but I mean, this was a goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was really pleased for her. You know, I mean, look at the way she played in the game. You know what Carla Ward's doing down at Villa. It's such a shame. Hopefully the injury's not too bad. I watched a lot of her at Manchester United, and I thought she was very unlucky not to get more games. So I'm glad that she's got to a place. She's gone to Villa to give herself a chance to play, and now she's playing. Hopefully that injury's not too bad, because I think that she's got a lot to offer.
Yeah, I mean, that was her second goal for Scotland. As Righty said, she has a lot to offer. How proud were you of Scotland's performance overall?
Honestly, I genuinely think that was probably one of the best performances we've done as a nation against England. Doesn't matter if they were tired off the back of the World Cup, we'll still take it. OK, we didn't get the result, 2-1. We still off the defeat going to Belgium on Tuesday, but great performance. I think we've showed that gap is narrowing and we can compete with the best.
What do you think, Karen?
I just think it was confidence from Scotland. I think the second half then, when they went a bit higher and pressed and thought, you know, England were kicking long. They were like, we don't want to play out, because Scotland were really getting amongst it. And I think it was just the confidence. First half had the better chances.
Completely. I think when they'll look back at that game, they'll think they could have got something more out of it. And I think that's always the test of it, right? If you're coming... Martha Thomas will be thinking about the chances she missed. Kirsty Hansen could have, you know, she hit the bar, she could have got more of it. Penalty shout, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, I think that, like I said in the first, Scotland's got to be braver and just go for them. What's the worst that's going to happen? You know, England at this stage, I don't critique England at the moment, because, you know, it's still pre-season. You know, they've had a massive, like, everything that's going on. And of course, they're going to be rustiness, but I think that's from Scotland's point of view, just go for them. You know, just go for them, because I feel that they could have caused us more problems.
They really could have. OK, well, we're going to take a quick break now, after which we'll bring you some more reaction from a fantastic night here at the Stadium of Light. We're going to hear from some of the players and hopefully from the managers as well, straight after this. It's a bumper weekend in the Rugby World Cup with 5 matches, including all of the home nations in action. Tomorrow, it's the clash of the top 2 in the world, South Africa and Ireland at 7:15, whilst England play Chile at 3:55 earlier on. On Sunday, it's Scotland that play Tonga at 4 o'clock and Wales take on Australia at 7:15. That is all on ITV1 and STV. But back to the action here in Sunderland, and let's hear from the England manager. She's talking to Becky Ives.
Serena, are you pleased with that performance tonight?
I'm very happy with the 3 points. With the performance, at moments I was happy, at moments I wasn't that happy, because we were struggling a little bit.
We seemed to dominate the first half. What then shifted for you?
The first half we dominated, only at moments that they could have the counter-attack, where we actually introduced that a little bit. But the second half, we had problems to keep the ball, and we made some decisions that made it not easy for ourselves. And yes, of course, they tried to score a goal, because they want to make it equal. So and we didn't get in the moment that we kept the ball really well and that we could go to their half. So we kept just trying to solve problems all the time.
You looked very confused at the Chloe Kelly decision. She was impeding the keeper. How did you see that?
Yeah, I haven't seen that back. I was very, very surprised that that goal got cancelled. And yes, well, we can talk about it now. It was cancelled, so it doesn't count anymore. And at some point tonight, I'll have a look at it. I'm not sure what the decision was, actually. I think she was in front of the goalkeeper. Is that what they said? Yeah. Of course, I want to say no, she wasn't, but I'm a little far away, aren't I?
And some spectacular goals tonight. Lucy Bronze said it's something they actually worked on in the World Cup, so you're pleased it's coming out now.
That was really good, both of them. We absolutely worked on that on the World Cup, and that was, perfect pass, perfect timing, perfect header. So that's really nice when you score goals like that. And I had hoped we had scored a little more. But it was also, we had 2-0, and then 1 minute before half time, yeah, we didn't make ourselves easy to let them score the 2-1. Then it would have been easier. We would have gone into the half time with that 2-0 win, and I think that was at that moment exactly what the score should be in the difference of level.
And look, you head to the Netherlands on Tuesday. Is the structure of this competition, are you impressed with it? Are you pleased with it? You get to play tougher opposition.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think that decision is really good because you want competitive games, and that's what we have now. So you don't know the score ahead of the game, and at other moments, like in the World Cup qualification, the difference sometimes was so big that it wasn't really competitive. And sometimes nice to win and have an easy win, but actually that's not sport. Sport is that you should not know ahead of a game if you win.
Serena, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I feel there's a sense of relief as well for Serena Wiegmann in England in this first game back after that World Cup final. Righty, we have to clear up a couple of things. Rachel Daly scored a goal. Explain to us why it was ruled out.
Because she was offside.
Thank you, Righty.
Nothing else to be said. She's standing in an offside position. You can see her right there, look, offside, bam. So those are the things like now, just say, yeah, OK, I'll take that. But like then we score a goal when she won.
And that's Chloe Kelly, isn't it?
That's Chloe Kelly, yeah.
In an offside position.
You know what I mean? And I think if Serena sees that first half, I know that it feels like we dominated it. And the main thing is that you won a game that you haven't played well in. But Scotland could have been 3-0 up in that game had they been more ruthless with the chances that they had and a penalty they should have had.
And later on, we saw Lauren James find the back of the net, and she was ruled offside when, in fact, we think she was onside.
She was onside.
Yeah.
Wasn't she, Kaz?
Simple, isn't it, right?
It's very simple.
Yeah, first one offside, this one not offside. Well, we think so anyway, but
look,
yeah, I think Courtney's steps...
If you watch her when the ball's passed, bam, onside, you can see the right foot of the Scottish defender there, and she's onside, you know.
Big decisions here that could change the course of the game, Jen.
Yeah, totally. I think if we all said it, if VAR was involved, you know, we're talking about the penalty, a couple of offsides, could have been a different game, but you can see what Corsi's trying to do there. She's trying to step up last minute. And from, you know, watching that live, Lauren James looks miles off, but watch it back, fine margins, and just called it off, but very close game.
Yeah, and we don't have VAR, of course, so that's why these things couldn't sort of be cleared up. But anyway, let's get the Scotland perspective on things and hear from their manager, Pedro Martinez-Losa.
Well, Pedro, you looked the more dangerous team towards the end there. What are your initial thoughts after that?
Well, I think we competed in the overall of the game. We competed at the same level as England. I think a draw could have been perfectly possible. Obviously, you know, football is a game where there is an element of uncertainty. Very proud of my team. I think we play here. We said we will come here to win. I think we have shown it. Of course, England has a very good level. In some moments they were very dangerous, but I think there were other moments where we were excellent. We competed at very high level.
In the first half, England probably had most of the ball, but you had chances on the counter-attack. How much confidence did that give your squad?
Well, it was part of the plan tactically that we knew the patterns of England, the way they will attack, and we wanted to protect. Always, our chances are based on first protect ourselves, but also to adapt to the scenario. I think once we were comfortable of the ball and we started believing and we were growing on the game, I think the players felt very confident in the second half, and I think we had the game in our hands. But it's a question of minimum details, and that's why we wanted to come to these scenarios and compete in the Nations League, because we want to develop as a team.
And they want to develop as a team, and we're seeing that development, aren't we? I mean, they played really well tonight, Jen.
Completely, and I think, you know, we're forgetting that's without Erin Cuthbert, Emma Watson. I know she's only 17, but arguably could be one of the first names on the team sheet at this point. But created loads of chances. We're speaking about them. Caroline Weir, we would have put money on that being a goal any other game. Huge save from Mary Earps. To create chances against such a top team like England, I think it's a huge progress for Scotland to have made, and, you know, so much confidence going into Belgium on Tuesday.
Marta Thomas also shone in the game.
She did, yeah, and she was unlucky. She just couldn't quite get on the end of one of Kirsty Hanson's crosses, which was another chance, and then obviously the penalty shot what they had. So had they been more ruthless in what they were doing, you know, it would have been a perfect game for Scotland, because England had good possession, sloppy in certain instances, and they would have been punished maybe by a different team. But like I said, they're coming back from the World Cup. They're in the kind of like pre-season phase, and you'd expect that kind of sloppiness. But Scotland done well tonight. They were very unlucky.
Yeah, and considering
as well, yeah.
I mean, it did sort of feel like a home game for England as such, because the stadium was packed. It was full of England fans waiting to see the Lionesses in their first match back on home soil. But Scotland held themselves very, very well.
Oh, yeah, I think they were lucky not to come away with, you know, at least a draw. I think the manager's right there, and I think when he goes back and watches what we've seen and the chances, it was just confidence and quality. At the end, England didn't play well, but in the final third, you have two moments from good players that create something and win you the game. Scotland didn't really have that in the 18-yard box, but they'll be really, really happy, and they probably should have got something from the game.
OK, well, you can stay here on ITV1 and STV for the final episode. I'm looking forward to this one of My Mum, Your Dad, That's Right Now. You can also keep up to date with the latest in the NFL with Craig, Jason and OC tonight at 11:25 on ITV1 and STV for the NFL show. Tomorrow, SailGP heads to Taranto in the southeast of Italy, and you can catch all the action on ITVX at 12:30. Well, it's a big thank you to all of you for your company. Thank you for yours as well. Well, Scotland shone bright here at the